Can you really own a gas station business in the USA with just $50,000 in 2025? Today, I'm going to break it down step by step, especially for two kinds of people. Number one, people already living in the USA who want to leave their 9-to-5 job and run a business instead. Second, people planning to migrate to the US and start their first business here. Now this video is about owning the gas station business only, not the land or the property. So let's jump in. First, let's clear up what you cannot do with $50,000. You cannot buy a gas station with land or property. The property itself usually costs millions of dollars, and very few owners ever sell their real estate. You also cannot buy a franchise like 7-Eleven or Circle K with $50,000, especially if you are new in the US. For immigrants, it's nearly impossible because these companies usually approve only operators with prior experience in the business and a strong credit history. If you're already based in the US and have experience, you might qualify, but not with just $50,000. So if property and franchise are off the table, what can you do? There are two real options if you want to get into this business with $50,000. Option 1. Subleased gas stations without goodwill. This is the most common entry point for the newcomers. Here is how it works. The gas station property is owned by someone else. They sublease the business to you. You pay the first month rent and purchase the inventory. The rent is usually high because you did not pay any goodwill. Average rent can range from $12,000 to $15,000 a month depending on sales and location. Inventory and working capital $70,000 to $90,000. Total cost around $100,000. That means with $50,000 you will need a partner. Let's talk about the income now. With the inside sales of $100,000 a month with a 30% margin, that's $30,000 gross profit on inside sales. Fuel sales at 40,000 gallons per month at 20 cents margin is equal to $8,000 gross profit. Total gross profit is $38,000 a month. Monthly expenses include salaries of $8,000, including $4,000 for yourself if you are working as a manager. Rent $15,000. Miscellaneous bills like utilities, credit card fees, etc. $8,000. So total expenses $31,000. That leaves you with about $7,000 to $8,000 net profit per month. As a 50% partner, your share of profit is about $3,500 to $4,000 a month, plus $4,000 your salary. That means you take home $7,000 to $8,000 a month. Your ROI, you could recover your $50,000 investment within 12 to 18 months, sometimes even sooner. Now you might think $80,000 isn't that much, but here is the real upside. If you work hard to grow the business, increasing sales from $100,000 to $150,000, your profit could jump by $15,000 a month. That means your take-home could increase $15,000 a month as a 50% partner, including salary. The downside is it's hard to find a sublease without goodwill. Usually only owners with multiple stores offer such opportunities, and contracts are often short-term for 2 to 3 years. But if you are passionate and willing to learn, you can double your money in that time. Option 2. Gas stations with goodwill. The second option is to buy into a business that includes goodwill. Goodwill means you are paying for the existing business, customer base, and sales track record. Again, you'll need a partner. Goodwill will be around $200,000 to $400,000. Inventory will cost $80,000 to $100,000. With $50,000, you can buy a 15 to 20% ownership stake, which includes goodwill and inventory. Your role will be active, working at the store as a cashier and manager. Now let's go over the profits in this model. For inside sales of $100,000 with 30% margin is equal to $30,000 gross profit. For fuel sales of 40,000 gallons at 20 cents per gallon is equal to $80,000 gross profit. Total gross profit is equal to $38,000 a month. Expenses would be rent $7,000 to $7,500 a month, much lower than sublease. Salaries $8,000, including $4,000 for yourself. Utilities and credit card bills is equal to $8,000. Total expenses are $23,000. That leaves you about $15,000 of net profit per month, much higher than option 1 because the rent is almost half of what it is if you buy without goodwill. As a 20% owner, your share is about $3,000 a month. If you are also managing at $4,000 of your salary, it is equal to $7,000 or $8,000 take home. That's almost the same as you would have made if you own 50% of the business in option 1. ROI, you could recover your $50,000 in 1 to 2 years. The advantage of goodwill storage lease terms are much longer, 15 to 20 years compared to just 2 to 3 years without goodwill. That gives you time to grow sales and profits. For example, if sales increase to $150,000 per month, your profit could rise to $30,000 per month, and your take home could be $9,000 to $10,000 a month. So here's my recommendation. If you are completely new and only have $50,000, start with a sublease station without goodwill, ideally with a 50% partner. It's easier to enter, the upfront risk is lower, and you gain hands-on experience. If you have strong connections or can partner up with someone who already owns multiple stations, consider a goodwill-based station. The lease terms are much longer, risk is even lower, and you'll have more time to learn and grow. Many established businessmen own multiple stations and are often looking for managers to run the new locations. They usually prefer managers who also invest money, because with the skin in the game, you are more motivated to increase the sales and the profitability. The benefits are steady cash flow, valuable experience, industry connections, and a path to owning multiple stations. Especially if you are able to increase sales, you can quickly save up to $400,000 to $500,000 and buy another gas station business with goodwills. The cons: long working hours, no property ownership, and profits that depend heavily on your lease terms. At the end of the day, $50,000 is not enough to buy land or a franchise, but it is enough to buy your way into a gas station business. But here is the question: what amount do I realistically recommend saving before thinking of owning a gas station if you want to lower risks and higher returns? I'll share that in the next video. If you are serious about getting into the business, drop your questions in the comments. I would be happy to guide you. See you in the next video.